What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be sharing speed reviews of brand new drugstore makeup, and these are not first impressions. I have tried everything out thoroughly, done little wear tests and things like that, so I have a lot of info for you, and I'm going to try to condense it as much as possible and not ramble too much. There are quite a few new products that launched, and it's honestly not even the season for new drugstore makeup usually, or at least way in the past. They used to release makeup toward like the end of December, early January. Now I feel like it's just kind of on a rotating basis. It's all year long. We're constantly getting new stuff. So there's always a lot to keep up with, but hopefully when you're done watching this video, you'll have a good idea of whether you want to purchase these products or not. So why don't we go ahead and just jump right in. I have a brand new eyeshadow from Revlon. This is their Glimmer liquid shadow. This comes in several different shades. I just bought one because I didn't want to jump the gun. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. So I bought the color that appealed to me the most. This is shade 201. So I'll go ahead and just show this to you close up and show you a swatch and tell you a little bit about it. So these come in 8 shades and they claim to be rich, shimmering eye color in one step with reflective pearls that give a multi-dimensional effect. They also claim to have 24-hour wear, which I'm going to tell you right now is straight up not true, at least in my experience. But it says it's an oil-resistant formula that won't crease, smudge, or fade. And it's supposed to be a refreshing water-based formula that has a lightweight feel and is non-sticky. And I would definitely agree with that. I actually love the way that this feels. It's a really kind of thin formula, very easy to apply. I'll show you just a quick video of me applying this color. This is the kind of liquid shadow that you can apply straight from the doe foot applicator and it doesn't get goopy. You don't even really have to blend it. I mean, it's beautiful and it really is super shimmery. It has those little micro glitters in it that give that beautiful wet look that's been so popular the last year or two. So if you're looking for something that's just like a straight up metallic, this might be a little bit too glittery for you, but I liked it. I felt like the glitter didn't look chunky or obvious, but it catches the light. It makes your eyes look so beautiful. So I'm definitely a fan of the formula and the way that it applies, and the end result is gorgeous. But the first time I used this, I felt like it did not last on me at all. It was maybe a few hours in, I looked in the mirror and I felt like it wasn't that it creased, but it almost was like flaking off in certain areas. So it looked patchy, I guess, after a couple of hours. And I was really, really disappointed by that. The next time I tried it, I tried using it on top of an eyeshadow base. I used the P. Louise one and I did get better wear that time, but I felt like it still was a little patchy by the end of the day. And then last night when I was filming the demo for this, I used it without eyeshadow base, and then 4 hours later I came back and this is what it looked like. It actually had held up really well. So I don't know what I did yesterday that I didn't do the other times before. I did add a pretty thick layer of it. Maybe the first time I just didn't put enough and the coverage wasn't there. Maybe you do need to add a little bit more, which is what I did yesterday because I really wanted it to show up on camera. So I'm still kind of playing with this. I love the way that it looks. I love the end result. I just have been a little bit wary of how it actually holds up throughout the day. And I don't have oily eyelids either. Normally, I don't have issues with cream or liquid eyeshadows creasing or fading. But the fact that this one did the first time I used it makes me pause a little bit. So I think if you are interested in this, you might want to just try one shade and see how it works for you first. But I do think it's gorgeous. And worst case scenario, I figured that I could always just take an eyeshadow look like I have right now, just powder shadow. I'm wearing the Paris Reveries palette from Viseart. If I just put a little of this on the back of my hand and just pick it up with my finger and maybe just pat it on like this, just for some added glitter, I don't think it's really going to make a difference if it looks patchy because it's already on top of regular shadow. But I might be able to use it to just kind of bump up the look a little bit more, just to add a little sparkle. But I don't have to just use this on its own if it's not going to hold up the way that I want it to. So I'm gonna have to keep playing with it. I want to try it on top of glitter glue, and I also maybe want to try using a setting spray or something and see if that helps. So I'll keep you guys updated. All right, next I have some face products to share with you. The first one is the NYX Fat Cheeks Juicy Plump Blushes. So I got 3 of these to try. I could not pick a color because they have two purples, and you all know how much I love a purple blush. And then I also got this coral shade just in case I want to do a warm tone look. So I got these three options. I found these over at Target, and these claim to give you fat, juicy cheeks in one swipe and take your cheeks from flat to fat with a buildable formula, blendable texture, and juicy hydration. They claim to give up to 24-hour hydration and up to 12-hour wear. It also has peptides that are known for collagen support for your cheeks to achieve the fattest look. So I don't know, I feel like the name is sort of a little bit of a gimmick because yes, they have peptides. Peptides can support collagen, but it's something you would probably have to wear day in and day out for months before you possibly saw some results. It's not like you're gonna put the blush on and instantly see your cheeks looking plumper all of a sudden. And also the way that the description is worded, it makes it sound like these are very juicy and dewy. And maybe it's because I have dry skin, but I really didn't find them to be that dewy. They actually dry down almost all the way on me. Again, it could be because I have dry skin, but this is dry. Like when I touch it, it doesn't feel sticky or gooey. I'll just show you a quick video of me applying the first two shades. So I have Guava Gush first, that's that coral shade. And it's really, really pretty. The one thing about this formula is it's more on the watery side. So when you dot it on, it's not like a thick, heavy, creamy liquid blush. It's not something like the Rare Beauty ones, for example, where they're incredibly pigmented. These have an almost transparent look. Think of the difference between a liquid lipstick and a gloss, right? A liquid lipstick is more like the Rare Beauty cream blushes where you have that solid pigment. You only can use a tiny little bit. It goes a really long way. With these, they're more like a gloss, and I don't mean in a sticky way, but I just mean that the color is a little bit more see-through. It's not quite as pigmented, and I found that I did have to build these up just a little bit. On the other cheek here, I'm wearing the shade Plum Pop, which is a beautiful kind of hot pink with a purple undertone. I love this color as well. I think both of them are so pretty, but I found that no matter what color I use, these are very subtle, and they also don't seem to stick around that long. I know they did say up to 12-hour wear, but the few times that I have worn these, I noticed that maybe by hour 5 or 6, I could barely see the color anymore. It was there, but not a lot. So I wouldn't say that these are the longest lasting liquid blush in the world, but if you're someone who maybe is a little afraid of those super pigmented liquid blushes and you just want something that's easier to use, I think this is a little bit more of a foolproof formula. It's really, really easy to use. Even the darkest purple color, which I'm wearing today, I mean, look at how subtle it is. I can actually show you in real time. This shade is Blueberry Burst. So if I put this on, I just put a dot, and then I'm going to take this brush. It's the Morphe M203. I love this for liquid products, even though it says it's a powder blush brush. But yeah, like you can see how it just kind of melts right in, and there's almost no blending involved. Like it's already blended. And this is a very deep color in the tube. So you would expect that on someone like me with lighter skin, it would take a lot of blending, but even if I put a lot, I mean, this is the third coat that I've put on of this today. And still, I feel like my cheeks are not over the top. I'm not even getting close to clown cheek territory. So, you know, I think this is one of those products that is just for those people who want that no makeup kind of look. You just want a tiny little bit of something and more of that subtle natural look. But no, I don't get like a dewy, juicy vibe from these necessarily. I think while they don't dry down to that powdery matte formula, they're also not dewy either. I think they're somewhere in between. They kind of just look like your skin, maybe a satiny finish. So those are the new blushes from NYX. I also have a new bronzer palette from Catrice. I got this on Amazon. This is their Butter-like bronze and contour palette. And I got the lightest shade, which is called Born to Shape. This one had the coolest tones in it. You have a cool shade down here that I guess is meant for contour, and then you have a warmer shade up here for bronzer. And according to the description, it claims that these are perfectly paired bronzer and contour shades, and it allows you to achieve everything from a natural sun-kissed glow to a more defined sculpted look, that it has an ultra buttery powder texture that melts into the skin for seamless blending and a smooth streak-free finish. And I have to say, you guys, the formula of this is next level. It is so silky and smooth. If you remember the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer, this is even silkier and smoother and more ultra refined than that one is. And I love that one, don't get me wrong. But this one, it's just one of the smoothest powders ever. It almost feels like a cream. So how I've been applying this is I take the Morphe M161 brush, which is like a huge fluffy powder brush, and I go into both shades together because I feel like this one is maybe too warm for me, and this is a little too cool to use as a bronzer, and I typically am not a contour person. So I mix the two shades together and then just apply it to my cheeks, forehead, chin, and I'll show you quickly just a demo of that. And the first time I used this, I actually picked up a little bit too much, but it was so easy to blend out. I was worried, but the formula is so silky and really seamless. And honestly, it doesn't even look like powder on your skin. It just melts in like butter and it looks like a cream, or like it just becomes one with your skin. So I think the texture is phenomenal, and mixing both shades together really gives that perfect bronze look for me that's not too warm and not too cool. So I've really been enjoying this and just loving Catrice's new releases in general. They've become such an amazing, affordable brand. Even though they're not at Ulta anymore, I love that I can get it over on Amazon. Most of their products are one-day shipping. So being able to pick up Catrice on Amazon is just super convenient for me. Yes, it sucks that they're not in stores anymore, but I rarely go into the stores that much anymore anyway, especially during the week. So I've just been really impressed with Catrice lately, and I actually did a whole Amazon video. I think it was my last one. So I'll link it at the end of today's video if you want to see more of their new releases. Okay, next up I have some lip products to share with you. The first one is also from Revlon. This is their Glimmer line as well. And these are their Lip Treat Balm Plus Mask. So these are peptide lip masks, which made me think of the Ole Henriksen one or the Persona. So I figured these are Revlon's dupe of those. And I've always had great luck with Revlon's lip products. So I ended up getting these in 2 colors. I had high hopes for them and I was not disappointed. These are amazing. So I'll show you quickly a close-up. These claim to be formulated with hydrating peptides and give your lips a 57% instant moisture boost. They're supposed to double as a rich buttery lip balm by day and an ultra hydrating lip mask overnight. They're also supposed to support the lips moisture barrier immediately and over time. And they come in 5 shades that have different scents, and then 1 that's clear and unscented. So that's the one you would likely want to use at night because these are incredibly pigmented. So I'll show you me applying the 2 that I have. The first one is Hazelnut Latte. This one is a beautiful kind of rosy brown shade, and it smells exactly like a hazelnut latte. It's so delicious. This formula is super thick and rich and buttery. I like it just as much as the Ole Henriksen and Persona ones, but it's way cheaper. And I also think it's just as pigmented. I mean, Revlon has always done lip products really well, and this one does not disappoint at all. The other one that I have is Hibiscus Spritz. It's more of a hot pink, and this shade is more of a fruity floral kind of scent. Again, very pleasant. I love the color. They give you a ton of gloss and shine, and it's the type of formula that, because it's a lip mask, it's really thick and rich and it stays put for a long time. Even after the color wears away, it's the type of thing that you still feel the hydration even hours later. So these were definitely a home run for me. I absolutely love them. By the way, I forgot to mention that the applicator is one of those kind of rubbery silicone ones. So it feels like the Summer Fridays lip balms, for example. So that's also really similar to the high-end versions as well. So love these. Also, speaking of lip masks, we have a new one from CoverGirl. This is their Jammy lip sleeping mask. This has such cute packaging. It's a little bit on the chunky side, but I actually love it and it's so fun to use. It has this huge slanted applicator. It has the little hole, you just twist up the product and then apply it that way. So anyway, this claims to have a thick, creamy formula and give you visibly smoother, softer lips in the morning. It has vitamin E and shea butter and over 90% moisturizing ingredients, including avocado and grapeseed oils. And it has the no touch, no mess lip Snuggle applicator, and it has a relaxing lavender scent and a sheer color. So it does come out of the tube a little bit purple, but I don't really notice a color when it's on my lips. And even though it has a lavender scent, don't let that scare you. It's like a sweet lavender. When I first heard that, I was like, oh no, I hate floral lip products. I can't stand them. But this is more like a lavender sugar, and it also tastes sweet. So if you happen to lick your lips, you taste that sweetness. I really like this. I've been wearing it to bed every night, and it is very thick and rich, and it stays on the whole night. When you wake up in the morning, you can still feel it. And like I said, for some reason, the applicator is just so fun to apply. I don't know why. So anyway, this is super cute. Is it better than a lot of other lip masks I've tried? Not really. I mean, I've been using the one from Experiment Beauty that I talked about in my Amazon video, and that one actually exfoliates at the same time. And I really love that. That one is unscented if you're curious, but this one is also fun to use and it definitely does the job. So it just kind of depends what you're looking for in a lip mask, but I actually really like this a lot. Next up, CoverGirl also has these new squishy Glaze lip balms, and these come in several different colors. They remind me a lot, and I think they're probably a dupe for the Summer Fridays lip balms or the new ColourPop Fresh Kiss ones, which are also a dupe for Summer Fridays. I think a lot of brands are just coming out with their own version. And I mean, the tubes are similar. They come in all these different scents. They're basically a sheer lip gloss. They have the silicone applicator as well. So these come in 5 shades altogether. They claim to be a tinted glaze bursting with squishy flavor. They have up to 9 hours of hydration and a buttery formula with essential fatty acids, hyaluronic acid, shea butter, and plant extracts, and a non-sticky, bouncy glazed shine. So I'll quickly show you the colors that I have. The Marshmallow one is actually clear, so I'll just show you the other two. I have Raspberry Twist, which is a bright pink. These aren't quite as pigmented as the Revlon ones. They're slightly more sheer, but very much in line with something like the Summer Fridays ones or the ColourPop. And then the other shade that I have is Fresh Plum. This is a little bit deeper. Again, super pretty. These do have that rich, buttery formula that I think compares to the higher end versions. So overall, I do like these. Are they the most exciting product in the world? Not really, because we've seen already brands coming out with very, very similar lip balms, and you know, the Summer Fridays ones had their moment a year or two ago, and it seems like the drugstore brands are just now catching up. I mean, ColourPop did over the summer or back in the spring, so they were one of the first ones to dupe it, but since then, a lot of other brands are starting to follow suit. And at the end of the day, they are a very nice, very comfortable, non-sticky lip gloss, and I think the flavors are super fun as well, but it's not anything that we haven't seen before. So anyway, I just wanted to share those really quick. Also, this is not a new product, but Maybelline has released some new shades of their Superstay Teddy Tint. So if you're a fan of these lip stains that they came out with a couple months ago, they have some new colors, and I found this one. It's shade 90 and it's called Ribbon Tide. It's the color that I have on my lips right now, and it is the perfect Your Lips But Better shade. It's a little bit on the cooler tone side, and I find that that is so hard to find in lip products. And when you do find a pink that's a little cooler toned, it's either super hot pink, or it's like a Pepto-Bismol bubblegum pink, or it's more of like a grayish pink that's really unflattering and makes you look dead. So this is just like the perfect soft mauve-y tone. I'll show you a swatch of it really quick. I just personally love it, and I know that some people are a little torn on this product. Some feel like it feels sticky on their lips and it doesn't dry down all the way. Personally, I like that because even though I don't necessarily want to feel stickiness, at the same time, it's more hydrating than a traditional lip stain. And if you're someone like me who has dry lips, it can be hard to wear any of the staining products because they really suck all of the moisture and life out of your lips. So I find that these leave that stain behind, but without all of the extra dryness. So I put up with them feeling slightly tacky throughout the day. It's not really a deal breaker for me. And I think a bonus too when it comes to this is that you can use it on both your lips and your cheeks if you want to kind of coordinate your look. I've been doing that a lot with these, and they work really well for that too. All right, another new lip product I found, and we're kind of heading into like the skincare category now, is from Rock, and this is their lip volumizer with Pro Collagen Peptide. When I saw this, I was immediately intrigued because it's a lip plumper that isn't one of those irritating kinds. The ingredients in this are more similar to something like City Lips. So it's a great affordable alternative, and I have to say it works pretty much exactly the same as City Lips, but for a fraction of the price. Just like the City Lips version, on the packaging it says that each tube contains a high concentration of hyaluronic acid filling spheres for instantly fuller looking lips. So these are dehydrated spheres that when you apply the product, they're supposed to react with the water in your skin and then they plump up, thereby increasing the volume of your lips as well. It's not like injections, it's not going to go super deep, but it does give you that more plump look and also smooths out the lip lines on the surface a little bit more. And I'm not saying you don't feel anything when you use this. There is a little bit of a tingle as the spheres are plumping up, but it's short-lived and I love that it doesn't dry out my lips. It also is going to give your lips a little bit of a flush of color. It brings the blood up to the surface a little bit, so you'll also notice your lips getting a little bit darker in color when you use this. But again, it's all temporary. As it wears off throughout the day, you're going to see your lips kind of go back to normal and lose that pigmentation. But when you wear this, it's like you almost don't even need a lip product if you're just kind of going natural for the day and you just want a rosy flush of color on your lips and nothing else. This is perfect for that. So while it's not a long-term solution, if you are a fan of something like City Lips and you just want that temporary lip plumping without all of the irritation, definitely check this out. I found it over at Target and I want to say City Lips is like $35 or something for one tube. So this is way, way more affordable. And it basically does the exact same thing. All right, next I have some fun body care, skincare products. So I ended up getting the new Palmer's Tahitian Vanilla Cream and Body Oil. So they originally came out with the coconut one, I think it was last year around this time, and the packaging looks really similar to Sol de Janeiro, so I think it's kind of their version of it. I wasn't a huge fan of the coconut one. It smelled okay, but it wasn't my absolute favorite. I didn't find myself using it a lot, but this one, on the other hand, smells incredible. So according to the packaging, it says our creamy and cozy vanilla fragrance has hints of vanilla bean and caramelized sugar for subtle sweetness with layers of depth that wrap you in luxury and a familiar aromatic embrace. So kind of a dramatic description there, but it smells so good. It's the vanilla mixed with the sugar that does it for me because that sugar just keeps it from being like too heavy, too vanilla. Sometimes vanilla scents are just over the top and way too much. And this one is very light. I feel like the Sol de Janeiro body products could almost double as a perfume because they're so strong. But with this one, somebody's only going to smell it if they get really up close to you. And the texture of this cream is amazing. It's one of those whipped formulas that is just so creamy and so light, and it just blends into your skin effortlessly. Like you hardly have to blend it at all. And what I've been doing is actually mixing it with their body oil. This has the same scent. So I scoop a little bit of this out and then I put a couple squirts of the body oil and just rub it between my hands and I use them together. And the oil kind of locks this in even more. And my skin stays soft all day. And the oil is more of a lightweight oil, so it's not going to be super greasy. Anyway, if you're a fan of sweet gourmand scents and you don't want something that is super strong or heavy, definitely check this out. I love how it's just really subtle, and actually that's what this reminds me of. I've been trying to think of it for the longest time. If you've ever tried the Josie Maran Argan Oil Body Butters, that is what this texture is like. I've been trying to figure out what it reminded me of, and that is it. So if you like those Josie Maran ones, this feels exactly the same. And she used to have a vanilla bean scent that was very similar to this. It was light and sweet, but not overpowering. That's what this is like, except way cheaper. Next up, Soap & Glory actually has a new line of body products as well. And I got the Vanilla-licious version, but they have a couple of other scents. I found these at Walgreens. And this scent is supposed to be creamy vanilla and exotic musk. So this one, as soon as I tried it, it instantly reminded me of the EOS Vanilla Cashmere scent. So I have the body butter of that one already. Honestly, when it comes to the scent, I cannot tell the difference. And you guys know I love the EOS. I have the lotion, I have the body butter, and I have a body wash that I actually just ran out of. So this was kind of perfect timing for this. So I have a body wash, and a body butter. They also have a scrub, and I don't know if there was anything else, but if you see these in store and you're thinking about buying them, just know that if you already have the EOS, it smells identical, and the products are pretty similar too. I think the Soap and Glory version might be slightly superior to the EOS. And I hate to say that because I know I've been hyping up the EOS ones for a while now. I do think that they're amazing, don't get me wrong. This body wash is one of the creamiest formulas ever. It is so hydrating, and the EOS one is too, but this seems to edge that one out a little for me. Yesterday after my shower, I put this on one side of my body and this one on the other, and I was smelling them back and forth and they smelled identical, but I felt like the side with the Soap and Glory body butter just felt a little bit more hydrated. It was a little thicker and richer than the EOS. So if you're kind of between the two, it might actually make sense to grab the Soap and Glory ones if you have dry skin. If you don't, then you might not need this level of hydration, but for me, it was honestly perfect. So I think these are definitely worth checking out the next time you're at Walgreens. I think Ulta still carries them as well. And if you're not a vanilla fan, they do have some other scents to choose from as well. All right, guys, so I think that's everything that I have for right now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you've tried any of these products, let us know your opinion as well. I'm only one person, so I love hearing what you all think, and I'm sure the community appreciates it too. So thank you guys so much just for hanging out with me today. I always appreciate it. If you do have some extra time and you'd like to check out my recent Amazon video, I talked about some more drugstore products, a lot of Catrice and some skincare, so be sure to check that one out if you haven't already. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye.